It's another day in the life of petroma. Today, we're giving out Most Valuable Subscriber Awards. The awards are going to Michael in Albuquerque, Manuel in Germany, Teshwan in Newark, and Amos and Austin here in Dallas. Yay! How are you today? We're talking about the Harley Quinn.
I refuse to answer. I don't know how to find a better answer to the question, how are you today, except for I refuse to answer. But then again, I'm fine, and thank you very much for the introduction. That's the hardest part of the conversation, because you have to start with something. Just not everyday occurrence. If that
Well, the Harlequin is, well, first of all, I think that would be a cool alias for someone to have the name Harley Quinn.
She's a woman.
No, she's not a woman.
I mean, Queen means woman.
Quin, like the Mighty Quinn. It's a song. Okay, your Harley Quinn is a woman.
Just pause it. Just hold it. I mean, you mean the Queen doesn't necessarily mean a woman?
Harley Quinn is spelled Harliquin. So if someone's name is Harley, it'd be like Charlie. And Quinn, Harley Quinn, like Joe Blow or,
I did not know that.
George Washington. But
that's
Quinn
why I told you that my pronouns today is she. I feel like being Harley Quinn, but then Harley Quinn is not a woman, then I'm still him.
No. You can also be a woman today. You can be a woman today if you feel like it. No, you were mentioning that you are familiar with the comic book series, and can you tell us a little bit about that? I used to collect comic books and sell them, but I'm not doing that anymore.
Well, do you remember that awful picture that scared you? A nun with a gun? So, rebellious. What was that?
The nun with a gun? Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, what's with the bell?
Well, I'm just moving it over so I can get my water. Don't panic.
Oh, okay, I thought you just decided to finish it all of a sudden, and I
No. I just moved the bell over to get some water.
Okay, it's my instinct from the school years, when you hear a ring, you're just like a Pavlov's dog. You drop everything and get away from school as far away as possible.
Yes, so tell us about this comic book series.
Yeah, comic book. No, I'm not really familiar with the comic book, but I've seen The Nun with the Gun I sent you. The rebellious spirit of someone's, I don't know, beautiful in his awfulness. And I've seen the pictures of this woman, Harley Quinn. I mean, I've seen the movie. I don't even remember its name. It might have a negative connotation, but the woman in it was a borderline evil. But today I feel exactly like that. I feel like I am borderline evil.
Yes, you are. Let's just slow down. We just have to slow down. So what I like is for you just to briefly tell us about the movie, even if we don't exactly know the title or the date. So what's the basic idea in the movie?
In the movie, right? I guess that was about Batman. Yeah. Batman, and does that make any sense? Because that was quite a while ago.
Batman, yes, we know about Batman. He's a superhero, and I was also thinking about if any of our subscribers have a favorite superhero, they could write it in a comment below. Some people have chosen not to subscribe or to unsubscribe, and we're okay with that. I mean, we're not about numbers.
Who have chosen to unsubscribe? I don't know anyone.
Yeah, because you're not in charge of the subscriptions. I am.
Yeah, I see.
I mean, there's several people that got mad about something and they decided to protest petroma and unsubscribe. So we would have like 79.
That doesn't make any sense. Like petroma cannot be protested. Sorry,
yeah,
go on.
It can be. So like we had 79 subscribers and I checked it one day, it was 77. Then I checked it, it was 76. So I just
You check
tried to
subscriber,
think,
you keep the count. It's
okay,
like when
we
I
haven't,
was younger, I've met with a woman, I kept count. I mean, I had a friend who was, when he was younger, he kept count of dates he could get. And that was like, that was far below 79, of course. But I remember that friend like it was me. And I remember the count, I guess he scored 30 maybe. And then someone told him, oh, you're such a loser. You keep, kept counting. But that
so
was
was
my
that
friend
30
who then
times
since
with
then
the
changed
same
them.
woman or just 30 different women?
I refuse to answer. I'm not comfortable with these questions because
Okay. Okay.
let's go back to Harley Quinn subject.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
If
wait a minute. We have
because
to
I
go.
think the
We have to.
woman that was with the same woman, that's why. Yeah, I
Okay, we have
guess.
to go
But maybe
slow.
not.
We have to go slower. We have
I
to go
know.
more slowly because the idea of a superhero is someone that has powers that you wish you had. And I just listened to a podcast on This American Life. I mean, Petroma Therapy has a podcast also on Spotify. You can also go there and look. But I was listening to an episode on This American Life, and Ira Glass, who is the narrator, was talking about the concept of superheroes, and he asked different people, would you rather be invisible or would you rather have the superpower to be able to fly? So let's pretend that we're in therapy. Which would you choose? Would you rather be invisible or would you rather have the power to fly?
Can I have a little bit of both?
Yeah, what will you do with that?
Both? If I could fly and be invisible, are you kidding me?
You could go to Albuquerque, right? You could go to Newark. You could come to Boston. You could go and spy on people when they're undressing. You could do all
remember that
kinds of
thing?
stuff.
I mean, remember that phone? I could fly you to the moon and back. Remember that?
A phone?
Thong.
Fong?
Song. Can you sing the song?
Oh, a song. Oh yeah, Frank
Yes,
Sinatra.
something. Yeah, I could.
Fly me to the
I can
moon.
fly you. I can. I could. I don't remember. Yeah, that's what I would do. Being invisible. I mean, no,
Did you
like
notice
those.
I was sing? Did you notice I was singing? You always want me to sing.
Absolutely,
Fly
but
me
I just
to
didn't
the
want
moon.
to. Great. I mean, I didn't want to scare you because I always asked you to, and you always refused. And this was the first time you've done that voluntarily. Of course, our conversation is consensual. I mean, the whole podcast is consensual. But let's go back to Harley Quinn. I've seen this movie, and I thought, who would play Harley Quinn in the movie? And I thought I would. Does that make any sense?
Yes. I think the movie's been made then, and you missed the casting call.
I know. Also, I'm not a woman. But I couldn't, I don't know, Joker is not appealing to me personally, for no apparent reason.
The Harlequin, as I think we're going to use one cover shot, it shows a man in a mask, and he's carrying a stick, and he's wearing kind of like tights, and he has these little slippers on. So to me, when I look at the cover shot, if we use that one, the stick, I'm a little worried about what he's going to do with the stick. I think he's going to like whoop up on people, but I like his little slippers. He reminds me a little bit of Hermes, the messenger god who like flies around and delivers messages. And also his slippers remind me of Steva, a character in the novel by Tolstoy, Anna Karenina. He has these slippers next to his bed, and he, is thinking about why things are not going well with his wife. But
the idea of Steva having Harley Quinn sleepers, I'm speechless.
Well, somehow I kind of missed that. You did say that it was a little bit strange, but we are in Petroma Therapy, and we encourage our subscribers to make comments or ask questions. The Harlequin as a character is also related to the Jester, Jester. In playing cards, there's the king, there's the queen, the king of
Yes.
hearts, queen of spades. The
Mm-hmm.
jester quite often appears as the wise fool, and he's quite often blind or blindfolded. And he's going to give the king some advice because kings rule kingdoms.
Interesting. Isn't that
And
what therapists
also,
say?
well, that's what I just said.
Me too.
No, I'm just kind of doing a free association. I was just thinking about, we talked about doing this episode on the Harley Quinn, and I started thinking about Harley Quinn paintings by Picasso. I also thought about the jester as the wise fool. And also, there's a Greek play, tragedy, by Sophocles. And in it, well, the play is called Oedipus Rex. So it's Oedipus the king. And there is a soothsayer, Sooth, soothsayer, or a truth sayer named Tiresias, who tries to warn Oedipus about something that happens. And in the play Oedipus Rex, the ancient Greek tragedy, Tiresias is blind. I was so excited when I remembered Tiresias.
But do you remember how it all started? Because I asked you, a while ago you asked me actually, but today it was my turn. I told you, if today was a mental health day, who would you be? I mean, what animal would you want to be? And you said so-and-so. And I said, I want to be kangaroo. Sorry, no. I said I was going to, I want to be, I feel like be Harley Quinn. Who did you say you want to be? Do you remember?
Well, I was like, this is just kind of like free association, which sometimes happens, with therapists talking to clients. I was saying that I found it's summertime and it's hot and I'm trying to find stuff to wear. And I found this pair of shorts that fits. And I was like super excited. And I kept thinking like, it's great. I've been going to the gym. I've been driving my car around. That's another kind of exercise, driving my car. But I was thinking I would like to be an animal that had really great thighs. So I was thinking maybe a kangaroo. But I didn't like the little small hands of a kangaroo. I need bigger hands. Maybe I don't. I'm going to be a kangaroo and you're going to be a harlequin.
Yes, today. Because tomorrow you want to be a lion, for instance, a lioness. I would like to be a joker. I don't know. Maybe not. But speaking about kangaroo and all the association, symbolism, what I say. Symbolism and also robots.
Robots?
Because we are, I mean, our conversation is so like ahead of our time. It's time. Yeah. And sorry, what was your question again?
The question is, where the heck are we in this discussion? Let's go back to the Harlequin. So the Harlequin, you could be Harley Quinn. Harley is also a motorcycle, Harley Davidson. Have you ever ridden a motorcycle?
Maybe once in a lifetime when I was really young. And I remember the police and then this accident and that's it. I don't remember. Since then, I've never ever ridden a motorcycle. But
so when you say you went with the police, does that mean you were arrested or you just tried a guy's motorcycle out? Or you can prefer not to answer.
Can I refuse to answer, please?
Yes, I think that's the best.
I had a friend who would know how to answer, but he's not with me currently.
Yes,
and he also may be imaginary friend. Do you? I mean, probably don't.
Oh, imaginary friends. Well, another name for an imaginary friend is Doppelganger, and then that's German. That's like a double. And then also there's the idea of a guardian angel, an invisible being that accompanies you different places. So we have done an episode on angels and, I don't know. I sometimes
tell me about your, I mean, tell me about your imaginary friend if you ever had one. Because when I was a kid, sorry, go on.
Well, you're my imaginary friend. You're my imaginary friend because sometimes I tell people, I have this channel. It's called Patroma Therapy, and we We talk about art and music and nothing and travel. And would you like to subscribe? And then someone would say, you're not talking about that imaginary guy, are you? I go, well, I mean, he's not imaginary. He's real. Well, if he's real, where is he? I go, well, he's in Petroma therapy. They'll say, why is he in therapy? And then they just switch the topic.
Are you saying that imaginary friends really a thing?
No, I'm saying sometimes
like you
I
and
will
me,
be
like peas and carrots?
Yeah, I'm saying that like here in Dallas, I could be walking around or talking to some people, and some people would say, well, what are you up to? And I'll say, well, I have this YouTube channel, and I might click it on for a little bit. They'll say, well, who is that talking? I go, well, that's my friend. They go, well, where is he? I said, well, he's not here right now. And then they think maybe I've just made it all up. But
No. But I
you know,
just thought, you know what? Sorry to interrupt, but there is. I told you about that. Alexa, her name, right? The artificial intelligence. I know Amazon sells them, and imagine that that's the same thing as me. I mean, you never see it, but you can always talk to Alexa, just like with me.
well, there's a lot of interesting takes on that. There's there's like a Saturday Night Live episode where this couple has ordered this imaginary character that arrives in a box, a huge box. I forget what the name of the episode is, but the character just smiles and dances and does funny things. And he seems to be so real, and the husband is kind of jealous that the wife is really interested in this guy in a box who has arrived. Someone has sent them this programmable man. So it's kind of the idea of like a robot guy. Mm-hmm. And then I think there's some people that have, the GPS that talks to you, and then there's Siri. So I suppose for a while we've had these voices around us who, I mean, I was up in Portland and that house was wired for the end of the world. There were like cameras in every room, and there were like, you just talk and the lights come on, you say, so you clap your hands and like the stove starts, or you touch a button and somebody says, like there was a really beautiful coffee maker, and I was going to make coffee, for the family. And I just went up to the coffee maker, and it said, good morning. I jumped because there was no one with me in the kitchen. I was just standing there in my robe and my slippers, and I almost had a heart attack because I wasn't aware that the coffee maker was going to talk to me, because my coffee maker doesn't talk to me. Does yours?
Well, I use the Jazwa. I don't have any coffee maker anymore.
Jazba, yeah.
Jazba, yes. Because that's the reason I switched from coffee machine to Jazba, because it wouldn't talk.
I know. A lot of people, several people have told me, especially David Anton, whenever I have a sore throat and can't talk, he goes, great. So like maybe we'll go eat together, we'll go do something. I said, I can't really talk that much. My throat is hurting. They go, great. I don't know. It seems that men don't really like women that talk so much. Is that a general truth?
No, I don't like generalizations, honestly. But you know what? Maybe it's just me. But do you remember that movie? I guess I mentioned that before, The Fifth Sense, and there was a guy in it, and he could see dead people. Sixth or maybe fifth. Sixth, right. Maybe it was sixth. Yeah, and he said, I can see dead people. And I thought, what if my imaginary friends actually dead people? But then again, the guy was dead. He thought that he was alive. What if I am dead and my imaginary friends are alive?
Yeah. What?
Yeah, it's a conundrum.
Well, I really feel that we need to try to stay alive, so that in the year 2024, we can have the Petroma Therapy meetup in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And we're going to have Petroma Therapy baseball caps, bats. We're going to have petromotherapy, koozies. Do you know what a koozie is? Koozie?
No.
It's kind of a plastic wraparound that you stick a beer in. It's like keeps a beer cold. You stick it in the koozie. It's a little. You hold it in your hand like you're sitting outside and it's real hot. So we're going to have petromotherapy koozies. And Michael said that, he has this amazing Italian restaurant. He said that he's going to give us 3 free pizzas for anybody that shows up. So I'm trying to get my friend David Anton to do a trip to Albuquerque, which is not far from the Grand Canyons. So you can see the Grand Canyons. You can go to Michael's restaurant. Perhaps Ralphie Boy will come down from Washington State. I'm not sure if Lydia can fly in. Tony Carnes, we're going to get him a ticket. So, it can be really amazing. And I think that, as a Harlequin, you're a bit of a trickster. Sometimes
what I like most of Italian food, homemade pasta. Homemade pasta.
Oh, wow. I love it too.
Delicious. You ever tried that?
Actually, I got my daughter a pasta making machine when she was starting college. And so she came home for Christmas. Her birthday's right before Christmas. And she opened it up. And it took like forever to make these dang noodles. But the thing is, we should have eaten before we started the pasta making because it took quite a long time. But it was a very noodle-tastic experience. How about you? Have you had homemade noodles?
I guess that I tried once. When I was in London, there was this Italian restaurant, maybe bakery, not restaurant exactly. They sold everything Italian. And I bought them, and then I had to cook them myself, of course. But that was delicious. From bread to cheese, I guess everything was imported from Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a really
I've
great
tried to learn Italian at the time, and I think I achieved decent level of understanding. But then you should practice probably, and I don't know, just maybe next life.
Well, that I am an Italian teacher.
You are?
Yes. So I'm going to ask you to just follow along. So Italian is all about the lips. So if you like lips, like on your mouth.
Oh. Yeah, okay, I just remember that sugar lips instead of. Okay, sorry. Go on.
You're going to just repeat after me. Now, if you know Spanish, you know the word mucho. Mucho means a lot. So
Mucho
here's
gusto.
the first word. Molto.
Molto?
Can you just repeat that word? Molto.
Molto.
Now, the next word is pee. Like I have to go pee. Pee.
I mean, we can always pause.
Can you just say that? Can you say that word pee?
No.
Pee. And then the last two words. Just a minute. Molto, pee, and then there's 2 more. Cherry. Cherry, like C-H-E-R.
The 2 words.
Molto piacere. Molto piacere.
So it's 2 words, right?
Yeah, but I'm trying to teach you Italian.
No, you can say the whole word, at once, because if you break it to syllables, it's kind of takes me long to think.
Well, but the thing is, like some people that don't know Italian, they don't know where to start. And I just say that Italian is about the lips and the hands. So you just say molto piacere. And then
molto piacere. It's also about music, because you have to use intonation in your words.
Yes.
It's very important. You don't even have to spell every word correctly, but you have to use the melody, right? Molto piacere.
That's true.
Am I good or am I good?
No, that's great. Once there was this Italian bishop that came to a church that I went to in Houston. And, he gave, he spoke English, but he gave, I guess it was confirmation. I don't know what this Italian bishop was doing. Oh, yeah, well, we had Monsignor Risotto was, there were a whole bunch of Italians in, I call them the Catholic Mafia, a whole bunch of Italians in Houston, and they were associated with this church, St. Cecilia's. And there was, for some reason, a bishop who was here from, I don't know, someplace in Calabria or someplace in Italy. And I thought that it would be very nice to speak to him in his own language. So, these guys were all standing near the door in a big foyer area as people were leaving. And I just walked up to the fellow and I said, molto piacere, mille grazie. And he thought I spoke Italian.
Why?
And
He
then
didn't, I mean, he couldn't pick up your accent, that you're American, or were you that good, or why did he think that you were Italian?
No, I'm saying I spoke to him in his own language. Molto piacere, mille grazie. I'm Italian.
Yeah, it sounds funny when you say that. I mean, can you do that accent again?
Molto piacere, mille grazie.
And that makes me laugh. I know. Funny. I'm not to be, I mean, if you excuse me, can I ask you again what that means? Molto piacere?
Molto piacere means so happy to meet you. And then mille grazie is, a million times thank you. And then you put your hand out and kind of pat the guy's hand, because I'm sort of thanking him for visiting our parish and giving a great sermon. So I don't even have to say that. I just have to use my hands and throw out a few words. Mille grazie.
I actually knew personally two Italian women in my life.
Really?
Oh, the one was named Mara. Yes. Is that Italian name, Mara?
It is now.
Yeah, you use the word Mada in our poem, a novel. And I always it scares me. I don't know, for no apparent reason again. Subconscious reflex, probably. Mada. I don't know what it is.
Well, in our story, Drop and Roll, which is several previous episodes, there are these two characters talking, and one, the man is in some sort of cell or holding tank or something. Then there's a woman that comes up and looks in the door and makes some notes, and then the story goes on about, well, how did he get into the cell, and is it a prison, is it a psychiatric hospital? So Drop and Roll. Drop means you drop to the floor and then roll. But as they have their conversation, the male character says something, but I don't know this person from Adam. And the word Adam, spelled backwards, is Mada.
Mm-hmm. I see.
So I got the name for the male character when he's talking about what happened to him, how he got there, what's wrong with the woman, who's crazy, who's not crazy. I just took the name Adam, which is every man, Adam, Adam, and flipped it. And I thought, well, that'd be a really great name for the guy, Mada. But tell me about another Italian lady that you knew. There's Mara.
I don't remember the second one. I mean, the name. I remember her, but I don't remember what was her name. Isn't that coincidence?
Well, I bet that I can't even ask you any more questions about that. I actually met this Italian person. I'm good friends with some musicians here, Ryan Berg, Nick Snyder, some of the musicians here in Dallas. And I was at this one little music place, and I walked off to the back patio where some people were smoking cigarettes and kind of chit-chatting. And Ryan Berg says to me, "Oh my God, it's Pat in the hat," because I wear a Stetson, or I have a lot of different hats. And then there's a bunch of people standing there, and I see this amazing guy. This guy is so good looking. I'm just staring at this guy. And Ryan goes, "Now, Pat, Mauro is married, so do not flirt with him." So this means there's a guy standing 4 inches away from me. His name is Mauro, he's from Amalfi Coast. So immediately, what do I say to Mauro? What's my go-to line?
No.
Mo-
I knew Italian. I mean, the man. I just remembered. Sorry to just pause it a little bit. I actually knew. I mean, real Italian. His name was Mauro.
Really? Was he from the Amalfi Coast?
I don't know. But he was a great cook. When I stayed, I was exchange student in 2000. 2000 maybe early.
Where were you exchanging? You were living
In
where?
Boston.
Ah.
And there was this guy from Italy. Oh, there was a few people from Japan. So anyway, what was your line tomorrow?
No, so I turned to, so Ryan Berg has told me, I want to introduce you to someone. He's married. Don't flirt with him. So I look at him. I go, molto piacere. And I give him the cutest smile. And then Mauro says, I go, I put my hand to my neck or something. I go, do you know, I am actually Italian. I have Biasioli and Maltini in my family. And then what did Mauro say?
What?
Can I buy you a beer?
He could say, I refuse to answer.
No, he can't refuse. This is an offer he can't refuse. And it was really, really so sad. It was so sad. Poor Mauro. I kind of have the worst and the best luck with guys. Guess where Mauro's wife was?
No middle ground. Right?
No middle ground. Take no prisoners. Mauro's wife was trapped back on the Amalfi Coast because it's the pandemic. Oh, I decided to call it pandemici. I started calling it pandemici.
You need Jesus. I say. Hey,
Yes.
a few minutes ago you said you read the word backwards and made it mad out of Adam. And I thought, there are words which you can read either way, forward and backward. They still read the same. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the word
Sorry to
God
interrupt.
backwards
The doctor.
is dog.
The dog is here. The dog is here. I'm up.
The doctor's here?
It's time for my pills. Yeah. I gotta go. Sorry.